Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Confidence Mindset with Amanda. And in this video, I want to chat quickly about why it's important to get into a daily habit of practicing being in the present moment. So particularly when we want to manifest things into our life, we are actually always manifesting in the moment. Manifesting really is actually an instant byproduct of where we are thinking in those moments. And the more that we think on something, we are changing neurons in our brain. As I say, it's like you're lighting up a circuitry in your brain that is starting to become familiar with this new way of thinking. And then inevitably things start to unfold in your reality. However, sometimes when we are dealing with 3D situations, we can find ourselves separating ourselves from the present moment, which is done throughout the day on numerous occasions. And we have about, I think it's over 70,000 thoughts a day. And when we are working and we're dealing with life and we're dealing with people, those thoughts are not always controlled. We're not always aware of what it is that we are thinking. So throughout our day, if we can get into a habit of bringing ourselves into our awareness. So for example, you don't have to be always consciously aware of what it is that you are thinking. If you can, that's great, but it's just to set aside a few minutes a day to come into the present moment. So this is why meditation is always great as well too, because you're giving yourself maybe 15 to 20 minutes in the day where you are just solely focusing on the present moment. Because really there is no, from my own perspective anyway, there isn't any really time, because when we focus on the past and we focus on the future, we are actually separating ourselves from the present moment. And when we separate ourselves from the present moment, we're separating ourselves from who we are in that moment, which means that we are identifying with some thought of the future, or we're identifying with some thought of the past. And particularly when we're manifesting things, we want to be always identifying with what it is that we are desiring in that moment. But we're human and we have to deal with life, and that's just the way that it is. And sometimes things come along that are maybe set us back. Sometimes things come along that make us forget how powerful we are. But the key is then to allow ourselves to, whatever emotions and negative emotions that we may have, always allow ourselves to have this. I would suggest, from my own experience anyway, if there is any setbacks or doubts or anything that you have in your reality, to write down everything that you have accomplished throughout your life, not just your manifestation, but things that you are proud of and things that you've done throughout your life so far. Because each time that you find yourself then in circumstances that are maybe not desirable, you'll be able to remind yourself just how powerful you are and all of the great things that you've already done in your life and the great things that you are training yourself to do as well too in the future. And so when we bring ourselves back into the present moment, it is a lot easier to do this when we practice being in the present moment on a daily basis. So over a period of time, when you find that you are adapting this habitual thing of a daily thing where you are coming into the present moment, your mind and body are becoming more trained in this sense as well too. So Dr. Joe Dispenza says that you're pulling your mind out of your body. And the more you do this is how then your environment starts to change, because your body is becoming more aware, more open to opportunities and to situations that are going to be working more in your favor. So when circumstances happen, things that may pop up, maybe undesirable bridges of incidents, I think that Neville Goddard called it, things like losing jobs, relationships not working properly, and all of these kind of undesirable things. When you are aware of your thoughts and you're coming into your conscious awareness, you are understanding then that things like this that are happening is because you are expanding over them. And so anything that is negative that is happening in your life is only because it's basically like the thing that you don't want in your life is dissipating away the more that you are elevating in your consciousness. You're expanding, you're becoming higher, and so that means you're becoming closer to all the goodness and all the great things that are about to unfold in your life, if that makes sense. So practice the art of being in the present moment. So you can do this numerous times throughout the day, and I know that we are dealing with life in 3D situations, so from my own perspective, maybe robotic affirming could be a good way to bring yourself in those moments, because you're consciously keeping your thoughts on one affirmation or something that you want to experience. However, if you're not into that, just stop yourself in the moment, take a few minutes and ask yourself how you're feeling, how your day is going. Ask yourself where you are on your day, where you are on your journey, and then do a few affirmations, breath work, things that bring you into the present moment. If you have the time to maybe watch a movie, or take your mind away from the actual environment. And all of these little things are ways of getting into the present moment. Anything is getting into the present moment, even going for walks and exercising and doing house chores and things like that, that are bringing you into the present moment, where you can actually be aware of your thoughts. So when you are doing activities like this, keep your thought on what it is that you want. Obviously, we want to be changing our mindset in such a way that our thoughts are always going on in our favor. However, I do know that sometimes when we are dealing with 3D realities, it can cause us to separate ourselves sometimes throughout the day. So let's say, for example, we're separating ourselves because we're thinking of the past or we're thinking of the future in that moment. And so when we realize this, we stop ourselves and we come back into the present moment, because everything that you actually want is in the present moment. Anything you desire is in the present moment, because it's all a thought away. And so when you are thinking a thought on what it is that you want, obviously, as the more you do that, you are creating it. And so when you find yourself separated, it's only because you're thinking of the past or the future, or you're maybe feeling little feelings of anxiousness that you're not believing in yourself. But remember, in those moments, that is all that it is. It doesn't matter, because when you bring yourself back into the present moment, you're right back in that moment, in that dwelling place of your desire and dwelling place of your spirit, of your God self. Everything is in the present moment. So anytime you have intrusive thoughts or things like that, remind yourself that it doesn't matter. That is just ways of separating yourself from your desire. So past or future is separating yourself from the present moment in time, which is all we have. And then when you get negative emotions and things like that, it's only because it's possibly because of old thoughts coming up, or things that happen in your reality that are undesirable, as I said before, losing the job, or relationships not working, or just things that may happen that are unexpected as well too. Remind yourself as well too that this is because you are expanding over what it is that you've previously experienced, which means that you are about to come into more goodness, because you've been keeping your mind on the great things that you want to experience. And so obviously, inevitably, then the old thing has to dissipate away as you are elevating up to that higher level of consciousness, and to where all of your desires are, and you're able to allow it then to come into your reality. So I just wanted to make a quick video on that, and I will chat to you soon.